Now that should mean I'm here. Stop! It like increases your sensitivity when you're in that menu. Alright. Anyways, welcome! Hello everyone, Jailwork here. Welcome to the second Jailwork stream. I am in Starcraft 2. Today we are going to be messing around. This is the Apex roleplay engine. It's a custom thing for Starcraft 2. And it's just like cool. You also may notice that the stream is now higher quality. That's because it's at 1080p 30 FPS instead of 720p 30 FPS. I wanted to see. I'm just testing out stuff. It seems my internet might be eating itself slightly more, but hey, I guess we'll see. And my one viewer is myself on my phone. Anyways, yeah, I'm just role playing myself. There's no one else in this lobby. This is the map Sector 0. It's pretty cool. There's like a bunch of these fortresses. And then we got all this other stuff here too. We got second viewer apparently. That's nice. Other than it went back down to 1. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's like there's 2 bases in the corner. There's a big though a cave area in the middle. Sprawled around. And then there's like passes all over the place over here. And there's also some very clear lake. Actually it's more like ice. I think in the older version of maps it might have been more watery, but now it's like actually ice. Although it still kinda looks like water, but it's like weird. But it makes more sense for that to be ice. Now, there are many things you can do with this engine. So it's about role playing, and it's not. You don't have a base. Like normally you have a base, you make units, but you just type in like spawn marine, and you got marine. If you want to make the marine big, you can make the marine big. If you want to make the marine small, you can make the marine small. Now the marine small. Kill it. Bye bye marine. But you can use this to make a lot of role playing things. So hold on. So I wonder if that works. Okay, spawn marine. And you can chain commands together. So now that should be hostile, but it's not. Okay, hold on. Spawn marine, give pink, shoot. I was trying to get an idea of what codes I want. I'm just gonna have like a huge free for all of like different nations that like doing diplomacy of each other basically. Of course I have to control my own marine. I know it's the way I did it to make everyone on ally charge, but I don't know. Hold on, can I do on ally blue all? Yeah, that seems to work. On ally pink all. So there's 3 factions right now. I might make a 4th one. Red on ally red all on ally green all. So these guys should attack each other as well. So we can just like I can control them. They should attack each other. Yeah. All right. No, red has a very interesting public use here, but this is private play. So control pink. I think 8 factions might be good. It is quite a big map, so it'd be like a 4-way 2v2 almost across the entire map, and it'd be pretty cool. In terms of how long stream, this will probably be maybe 2 hours stream, and it's gonna go by quick because this mode sucks up a lot more. It's a lot easier to suck up a ton of time if this game didn't Left 4 Dead. Alright, it should be announced to my Discord server that I'm streaming. I think I did have that set up. I think the next stream I'm going to see, it should be saying I'm streaming. I am streaming. Okay, it didn't announce it. Didn't announce it. Very interesting. But yeah, pretty cool. Oh, please don't tell me the stream broke or something. It's having technical difficulties looking at it. I'll go back down to 720p if it keeps breaking. Yeah, that seems to be fine. Yeah, I wonder why it doesn't it didn't announce to my Discord server that I'm streaming. I'm going to do that. Oh, there we go. I should make a ping everyone with upload video, but I don't. Or actually, it's the point. It's supposed to get people's attention, but so there. Well, the watching that's their fault. Alright, let's keep making these factions. Let me just log back into YouTube on my phone so I can make sure stream's not dying. You'll be able to see chat. Because I care about you, my viewer. Right. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same as yesterday, because yesterday had one viewer, which is cool. But I'm not sure if we're going to have one viewer today, but we'll see. Alright, so this time we're going to, do, control teal on ally teal all on. When it changes allegiances, it changes everything. Got it. Yeah, actually 6 could be fine too. We can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, that could work. Might add some, okay, so those, I guess just speak. These are the Terran ones. We can have 3 of each race. Many questions. Well, I kind of like the idea of having many Terrans. Although I do like Bros too. So many decisions, you know what I mean? It's hard role playing. Now, give purple an ally purple all control purple. And I do like doing Bros though, so it's a spawn. So basically, this is the super war gate. Spawn food, give purple, spawn food, give green, spawn food, give pink. Shoot, I don't know if I did for everyone. Did I do purple? I think I probably did purple. Alright. So now this is our 6 colors, so in case we forget. So I'm just gonna spawn let's have this all lined up pretty much. So that yeah, okay. Teal, pink. Right. That's all of our work gates. So we're going to hotkey them. Hotkey basically means I can go back to them anytime. And by pressing the number keyboard. So even from an opposite side mapping, I can just spam and I can get the one I want. So I can. I just have to remember that order. Marines are served as well. Now you get to see who will win. Who wants to get the cool spot? Whoever dies last gets the cool spot. Looks like Burvo gets the cool spot. Now I never defined what the cool spot was, so that's why you go in the water. No, okay, no. You get the spot. So give purple. Now they get the control gate. And pink was the next one, so they get this one. So everyone's gonna have like a main pylon area, you know what I mean? Actually, no, I could do this. Okay, hold on. So, I could just move these here. Yeah, I'm gonna move this. So if they destroy their warp gate, they can't spawn anymore. And then pink's gonna be up here. Then teal. Teal will be like the people of the fields, aka just whatever that is. I'll be like my people. Could be the island nation. I don't know. This seems pretty good. Red could be like this little cave area here. And they're going to expand and stuff, so it's not like they're limited to this. Shoot. They have one over here, yeah. I forgot to move it. So now we kind of have this arc here. That's why 8 players would have been good, but I don't know, I feel like you can't really fit anyone too many other spots, so. Teal will be like up here, the Northerners. Last time I did this, it was actually exactly the same way. They're the teal to be in the northerners, far away from everyone. So they kind of get this entire cave themselves, but no, it looks pretty balanced. Just be like the hot spot for all the trade and stuff. They can make like cities. So what's the name of this name? These are our cities. We're gonna make these cities. So we're gonna rename this. If we rename all, it names all the unit type for a specific player. So it will rename all purple super warp gates this, but it doesn't matter because there's only gonna be one super warp gate for each player. Let's name this GeForce Eon. Yes. Mine to be called. Red to be called. Shoot, I missed one. That's my own. Yeah. Yeah. Red to be called. Ooh, cool. Teal will be called. Bien Oconius. Pink will be called. And teal will be. Wait. I have two teals. Who did I get rid of? Uh-oh. I got rid of someone's. Shoot, it was green, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, green. This is green. Green. There. Fix it. And green will be called Ikokoyo. If you want me to change the names of these cities over time, you can put in the chat. What do you want to be named? So we got the 6 factions. You got, these represent their capital cities. Welcome to new viewers. I see. Oh, it's back down to 1. Darn. Doesn't matter. Ikorio! Jokosian! Jalolu! Okur! Kilodianius! And ooh! Ikorio. Yes. Let's get the armies. We have to make these nations very proud. See, there's not many resources here. Like, look at this. Like, the map maker decided to remove the entire area of the map for no reason. But the teal people raise their army. They are raiders. Do not seek permanent settlement. No, actually, they kind of do. This is the one city. Oh, I forgot to give myself minerals. And there you go. They seek only conquest. If they live in the cold north. Although it's kind of cold in the south too, but shh. Let's hope the stream is good. Yeah, it seems to be fine. It's live. Got a station. Each individual guard, they taken over a large area already. We're gonna set up many cities or villages. But meanwhile, the more civilized Ians are gonna stay more confined. They do not like the weirdo ways. They want to stay isolated. They have their cities spread across their interior. They don't want to go that far because it's scary. But the green, they see this land. It's the land of the free. They want to roam. They want to roam the lands. This is their land. So that's why they're gonna have. They don't have any cities out in the Great Plain. They roam it because it's theirs. The great roamers roam the land to the coast. The nomadic. And it's to say Ikorio, the great city with some of the most technologically advanced people. Jokorsian, the aggressive military power. enlisting in local forces for defense,
It is a good day to die.
but having a long, sprawling empire, aggressively claiming the lake. That's the name of that lake. And the Wawa Pass. They enlisted local police forces to guard each of their cities, instead of the more dispersed infantry of the entire army, guarding the border itself. The Halus. Very interesting people, because they only they see the aggressiveness. It was to secure their homeland of the Great Rock. In fact, it's so great. There's 3, 4, 5.5 cities around it. That's how great it is. And it's their heart of homeland. They invest everything to defend it over their capital city. In fact, their capital city only has a few guys defending it, but they invested a lot. But the red people, cave dwellers, they used to seek control of all the trade along the pass, even though there's not that much. So they set up trading posts on the end and guard the beginning and end of it, similarly to the teal people. But they're different because they're cooler, they think. They wish to control the strategic locations, but their trade could influence the Great Rock, and they don't like that. The Ians. They do not have the technology, but they do have the manpower. They have many men, all ready to defend the nation. Their swords. But the organized, Vikingish Kevolokians were like, wait, we need a leader! And that's when the entire world knew that people needed leaders. They elected Huar Von. That's his name. If he dies, the entire stability of the nation falls. He elected the Stayback. The Uyins need a leader too. Elected the oldest, most eldest man. Himself. The city was named after him. He has become the leader. So he will have a broad democratic assembly to represent the nation. They have 4 people that vote on everything. Yuhua! Uhua! Yes! Extinon! And attack move. That's his name. The Broad Democratic Assembly. The Broad Democratic Assembly. That is the Hurrians. The vast empire elected emperor. Septemberus. He is a very interesting man. They had got an entire month named after him, in fact. In the Jawoos, look to the rock. They're like, who is our leader? And then it said, I am the leader. And then something is out. And a big. And it made him the rock. He dies. Eternal. No, actually, let's make it smaller. I'm gonna have him become the rock. In just case I can't. The people need to elect merchant kings. So you decided on the two king system. One will control the northern half, one will control the southern half. And he said they're equal distance, so they have equal land, even though the size of the land. This mayor's name was. This guy's name was. That was his name. And they both went to guard the frontier of their kingdoms. Let diplomacy begin. See, and oh yeah, we're also gonna have we're also gonna have Zerg in here. Hive. Give hostile. Spawn food. Give hostile. Control hostile. Oh, the Zerg! That doesn't look like a Zerg layer. Shh! That's why no one goes to the center. But you can stop the Zerg if you destroy the central complex. It's the central complex. The queens, the many queens. But the Zerg guard everything. They're overwhelming. You cannot stop the Zerg. And then I guess we can have like we just have a neutral faction of like Terran people here. Give actually no, like green. Oh no! These are the last remnants of the XD civilization. That's the name. There's only a few of them left, and they're just trying to survive. And also like panic because they can't figure out how to turn off their alarm, so they're just like ah. That's the noise they make too. Just ah. The first diplomatic move. They just want to stay neutral and close their gates. They don't like any of this. This guy, was like, we gotta conquer the world. Yeah! These guys said in Spanish as they charged their way. They need to go establish diplomatic relations and explore the land. The vast people of the Great Plains. The four people were voting. They couldn't vote. Who would eat the last pizza slice? Oh! They said in Spanish. They couldn't figure out who was going to eat the last pizza slice. See, these two wanted Yuhua to eat it, but these two wanted to give it to attack move. They were so nice to each other. Then he wanted the other people to eat it. But then, a unifying force, what it seemed like, was going to pull the country apart. King. It all changed to when the Teal people attacked. Oh! I'm not going fast enough. Go faster. Oh! Who are you guys? What are you doing? Oh no! Get out! Stop! 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 Oh no! They're too fast! Go! We gotta get out of here. They're taking it. Oh! Oh! These guys are really bad. They're gonna kill us all! What? Oh! No! Like, oh, what is this? In one day, they took away all of our heritage. Said the XD Iwa. It's like, We need to unify and to find where these people came from. They agreed. And that's why he sent the task force. Well, task force unit, Epsilon 11. There's a bunch of other people. Yeah. The Jahulians were sitting. Were praising the rock. When suddenly the Dracorsians attacked. They want more land. And it was too hard to go 4 feet further north because these guys are closer, so they had to go get him. And like, oh, we can't defend ourselves. We need hope. Oh no! They're gonna kill us. Just barely at the Battle Wall City, they managed to defend. Ah! But they needed help. They could not sustain more attacks from the Jacorsians, as they were much more vast and had much more people to thwart them, and they're much better trained. It was a miracle they were able to survive that battle. They were a large army. That's what he looked to. Ah! They sent a diplomat. I am Diplomat Wallace. I'm going to diplomat with the merchants. Who are you? I am Diplomat Wallace. I'm going to diplomat with you. Oh, go. Who are? What? We are trading here. We don't want to inject our commerce. We need money. I need money too. You can get more money. You can help us defend against the Dracorsians. They threaten your trade and are going to destroy if they destroy us to come after you next. A buffer state is always useful against the Great Empire. Yes. Oh, I said. And so the treaty was signed. And they became the best of friends. Sent his forces to guard, to stand along with the Jahulians. Hope this deal is good. He said, you stay here. When I need you to go back to communicate with, tell your leader that I accept. Although they kind of said that afterwards, and everyone's like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing here? They told us to go here. Phew, I don't like this sentence. You dare offend me of that? And the two went to a duel to see if they were truly fit and able for an alliance. Are they truly fit and able to be an alliance? Let's find out. The Great Duel. Oh yeah. Wait, where's Drock? Stop! You're too good. I told you. See, I've proven myself. And also because Wallace has told the Rock, and then they're like, oh, okay. No, stand true as friends. And the diplomat of the kingdom. Now, they stand together against the threats of the evil empire, who threatens to invade them. This very second. Meanwhile, the hungry aliens in the caves threaten to invade. The trading kingdom. Now they're split. They had barely anything to defend. Will they be able to defend the onslaught? Oh, said E, and he sent some troops back to try and defend. It was too late. The trading city would fall. The hungry zerg kept going forth. Whereupon seeing the army, they retreated. It's as if something was commanding them to perform these surgical strikes on strategical locations. He decided a change in policy was needed, and he set guards on every point. It's pre-war troops in this case, they were betrayed. The two. The army still looked looming, and it was getting ready to attack. But there's still some time, as had a secret invention. The great weapon that would forever shape history. The Reaver! Not Pylon, Reaver. Powerful weapon. It would redefine the entire course of history. It redefined the entire course of history as it went to assist the ally of the Horde Guardians. Okay, what? The Hot Jahus. Meanwhile, Task Force SR-11 found a fortress. And they went, hey! They said as they attacked the gate. Whoa! And then instead, take it nicely. They're like, oh, they're going to attack us. We need to stop. Oh no, oh no. Do not worry. The outside invaders are weak. We will overcome them. Guys, can you open the gate? I'm like, wait. Strategy, I see. Can you strategy on them? Go! Hey guys, you can't. Oh! They don't. No one knows why they attacked, but they did, and now there's war. Where are they again? Where are they again? The Corians and the Cursians. No, the Corians. And they're like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, oh no, and they push back. Even it appears that all these troops were colorblind and did not realize that it was these guys that truly attacked them. And the army chased them all the way back home. The defense was brewing up. They needed to defend. The entire army was upon them. It would bring conquest, glory to the Ukian people. They said Spanish. Unless they came up here. No! Oh no, Juarez! Oh, Juarez, come and jumps in the battle! He's not afraid to show his nation who he is. A leader, not a coward. Except he's taking a lot of damage, so now he runs back because he's a coward. Ah! So how are you guys doing? The Utin army had to retreat. Wait, not that way. That way. They are immobilized. The council need to decide. The instigators of the war clearly were the Uians, because they attacked them. No way they started the war. And now, they decided to send forces to attack them. They set the front, make sure they control the choke point. But they also need to make sure to control the choke point. Meanwhile, is really laughing right now because they're actually fighting each other. Although he has no way of knowing that, but he just knows. Because he sees it's actually not that far of a line of sight. Yeah, it's not that far, because you can see he saw the fight and like it. He's laughing. The brief skirmish at the ridge. Control here. The Ooze decide that change of policy was needed. They needed to control the fields, because that's when they did best. So they needed to control the ridges because they found the fields. That's when they did best, and that'd be very bad. And I don't know how he knows that, but he does. He sent as many forces as they can. Let's go here. They may not have the weaker fighters, but they may overpower them. For sheer numbers. Tacticality. Just like jail work. Subscribe for watching. And as the great field masters showcase their skills in the fields of cavalry archer, even though they're not the cavalry lasers. Even with the skill, they were able to overpower them, proving sometimes brute force in sheer numbers. That was to win a battle before it even started. Well, actually, these guys might win. That was to win a battle before it even win, and the bridge was recontrolled. Ooh, also sent some troops to the other side, and sent some troops to stand off with the. Feeling confident he went stand off, but there's a small problem. That was their weakness. They no longer grouped in one spot. This is what they did worse. The Equorians marched upon the bridge again. This time with a similar sized force, but a stronger one. And they immediately retreated, realized they didn't have enough to defeat the overwhelming force of troops. They retreated fields, but then they realized the worst mistake. They could not defend the bridge were getting encircled so they had to fall back too. And in barely one battle, the entire front fell back. Realized that change of policy was not a good idea. He needed to overwhelm his enemies. He could not just control the bridges, but he could not fight them in the fields either. What he was going to do would decide the fate of the world in one sheer act. We signed peace, he said. And they just knew that when the gate closed, that they had won, and now controlled everywhere outside of it. They now controlled the fields and the northern fields, something that has never been seen in their history of the Equorians. And he said, they sent the roamers to roam the lands, to enjoy their new territory. That's what it did. Meanwhile, Purple, knowing the preparations were complete, and they decided to charge forth at once. But then they saw something they'd never seen before. The Reaver. What? Oh! It's killing more! The battle has barely been on for seconds before they had to retreat, and many of the casualties were inflicted on the way back. But they're overextending. Or are they? Yes, actually they are. Definitely run back. The shock cannons prevented from pushing past the pass, but it proved that two smaller nations could overthrow a larger one. More volunteers were sent over by he was growing quite fond of the rock. In his peaceful ways, and protecting the trade, many trade flourished. There's so much trade. Look at it. Meanwhile, a small group was sent into the cave to investigate the Zerg situation. But then they didn't realize the Zerg were already on top of them. And they had to fall back immediately, but they left one of their troops behind. The veterans behind, and then was defeated. They chased them all the way back out the cave. And now many more of them poured out of the cave into the open, and blockaded them, preventing them from accessing the southern city. Only few volunteers managed to make it to there, but the northern section will be starved out unless it was all up to change it. Realizing that he's now fighting a two-front war, didn't know what to do. He had a small force which could go, but he didn't know how many evil Zerg could be in there, waiting for him. So he decided to recall most of his forces back temporarily, and have them assist his troops in clearing the strait, and clearing the way back. So would be good. The Halloween's did like this, because they thought Purple could attack at any moment. The Dracorians could attack at any moment. But be assured, assured that everything would be alright. That they would do this would be decided by them as well, if they were in the same situation. Meanwhile, the Corsians saw great technology from northern communications with their interesting roamers, people. They said still technology, but it didn't last long. They knew no peace. They could not break through the rock defenses without their addition to the Reaver. The trade people also re-established control here pretty easily, and decided to guard the entrances, which did spread their forces out, but ensured that they would defend properly. A new force is being prepared to attack. This time, the technology would surely overcome the Reavers. The Hallelujah said streamline production, so Ott wouldn't have to waste money on them, because he was more interested in trade rather than war. The Hallelujahs were slower, more vulnerable to fire. Were slower and more vulnerable than the refined model, the first model. But they were streamlined, and there were more of them. And packed the same punch as any other Reaver. Dracorsians knew no peace. They needed to attack, and they pushed forward. At the same time, they sent a diplomat all the way up to the nation. They had seen before. They had been good friends very long ago. In distant land, I could shape master master of darkness. Well, this sounds like weird, but fool samurai world, reading the magic sword set forth the flows. You know what I mean? That happened. You need a clear path. After many battles, realizing their own technology was against them. Even the superior flanking strategies could not beat them. There are too many of them. The field was lost again, and an emergency meeting was called. They needed to pull out their troops from the northern area to defend against this new attack. But the second they did that, saw his chance. Opened the gates, and allowed troops to play. The diplomat was assassinated, or was left alive because he thought, oh, it's some weirdo hermit guy. He's like, oh, we can just hold the bridge. Oh, the great battle, the second battle of the bridge. Decide the fate. And it does not look good, so they had to pull out. Being crushed from two sides. The Dracorsi got finally made. It told him, I. XD! There you go, just making sure the stream is working. XD! We had alliance before. The Corsians would like to be alliance friends again. To beat the common enemy. The Coriosians. They agreed. And the treaty was signed that they would now be allied. And he returned home, but his journey would be safe. He agreed to attack with his army into the Corsian area in the lands. See, Socorio. The few forces they had to retreat to the mountains in order to assure the vindication and survival of the people. But then they saw something. They had to invent new things. That's what we invented. The Archon. A more battle-hardened version. A more tankier version. Mobile version of the Reaver. But sacrificed sheer power. It would be used to defend at the choke point base. But then they attacked again. Nearly simultaneously. Who knew what the technology they held as they attacked the Corsians? This would be the final defense. And the council knew it. They're like, uh-oh. Actually, it's not going that bad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're breaking through. And the Drossorians also came at the same time. They won't be able to survive the breeding through. The council knew its fate was sealed. They were no longer able to survive, and they surrendered. And after the last of their troops had fallen, and their city was under attack, they surrendered. The city went to the Drossorians, and the Uians were assured peace and given territory up to the river. They quickly established cities up to the river. Villages. Villages quickly turned into strategical locations. But they took heavy losses. The coast in on them. But under the fair system of the Koreans, each one was trialed. I like green. Each one was trialed. They were brought back home to the great trials. And also this is one Uyan Zilla see too. No, he goes back. Up to four mixed strategy. Instead of splitting his forces differently, he would have one major force and small forces each one of his bases, and he would quickly reinforce each one if need be. The new city. Shoot. This was renamed to Ikorion. From it's not Dracosia. Wait, hold on. Ikorion. It was renamed to that. It's not Dracosia. Ikorion. The new city recently annexed by Dracosians. Was quickly reestablished. However, would lack sufficient funding for many years. Because their main effort was focused on the southern, to control the trade and gain control of the lake. There's a hole here. They could not break through, as the mortals would shred the rivers. But at the same time, they could not break through either, because they didn't have enough mortals in order to break through the defenses imposed by them. So standstill would happen here. It will last. Meanwhile, the trials were conducted on the 4 leaders of the old Aquarius. Extianon was first. He was quite a peaceful man. He wanted a pizza slice, but he didn't really want it. They told him all of the pizza slice debates and how to prove that they were peaceful people, and it worked. They were now judged more fairly. Ex-deity was the main judge, with the Septemberus to look over it. It was the first time he appeared in public in years. He was overseeing. Ex-deity was the main judge.
The sky is my battle.
Yes. This guy's a diplomat and a judge. He's really good. He would decide the fate. Extianon was convicted of conspiracy against the Empire. They were sentenced to 0.1 seconds in prison. Uaius was straight up free. He was cool. Uahua was sentenced to 0.2 seconds in prison for conspiracy against the Empire. An attack move. Attack move when he got here. Since the only attack moves accidentally attacked Ex-deity. And even though he would have gotten off free and actually given benefits and he would have actually he would have become rich from this deal. He actually would have gained from this because he was just so good. He was so innocent. But because he accidentally attack moved, he was killed on the spot. The council decided Septemberus was most pleased with the ruling. He believed that demon fair and the emperor and his old daughter should be the final judge. But these judges are just to make sure everything was smooth. I don't know. Yeah. Ex-deity was put to head general and would oversee the main the main flank in the war, as Septemberus was getting tired of managing it. These 2 prison eagles, well, they've been in prison for so long. It's been years. The world's changed around them. They would never be the same. And they end up joining the Purple Army and would see the northern flank. They would be tasked with fighting their own people years later. They're tasked with fighting and defending the northern flank and the garrison. And we were never heard from again. The nation had fallen. Now what? Peace. There's a standstill. The Uyans are stronger than before. Stomers was happy, but not perfect. Zer could invade at any moment. But all laid. It was temporary peace, but it all started with Wawakure, who ordered. Oh, we haven't had a war in a while, he said. So, yeah! Then they attacked. Uyans, with a new battle strategy. Hoped that this new strategy would help them defend, but let's see. They're still rebuilding the army from the previous war. Oh yeah, someone typed in chat. I don't speak other language, so I apologize. Anyways, uh-oh! How did I not see that? That was supposed to a while ago. No! The good defense! The armies will consolidate into one to push bridge. But it seemed like it would be no avail. It's the battle. They will be quickly overrun. Actually, they are kind of winning. But then he invented the rapid fire dragoon. They only had 1 health though. Like they had only 1 health. They're like, uh-oh! There are no troops left. Uh-oh! Armies retreat together. The Uyans had no army left. Little manpower, they wasted all of it. The strategies were working, but were not working well enough. Their outside cities were threatened. They had very little troops left. The technology behind every other one else. They were on the verge of collapsing. Just when the great battle started. Exteon and its troops would attack Pink and take it over for the Dracorsian Empire. They would attack. But they're just organized. The main force. We have to defend the bridge. They're like, hey, well, I saw you do. Oh! They're like, wait, what? And would send the rest of their forces to combine and to defend the bridge. The battle was right, wrong, zero. Would not combine all his forces, fearing that if they were to push, if they were to be defeated, they would not be able to defend properly. Places were given the purple left and right. No, it is good. Yeah, I was lost. Only the main gate stood. Closed it again. As the Dracorsian armies were set to raid. Wait, what? I think I meant to say berate. But was that? Wait, attack. Attack the cities! I don't know how you rate the city. Like they rated it 5 stars. That's. No, I'm tired. I'm supposed. How do you speak? Instead of saying attack, you just say rate. Just rating the cities. 0 or 5, they said as they charged the main gate. And they're like, no, no. Who said you have betrayed us? And they said we never were your friends in the first place. Aw, he said, Spanish. But then, what troops said? the city would may fall. It looks like. Actually, it looks like they could win. Not gonna lie. Actually, it doesn't look like they're gonna win. But the reinforcements would make victory impossible. XD and Nod would die in this battle, and Yuhua would be close to dying too. More reinforcements arrived, but was it to any? Would be to any? Actually, wait, what? What? Okay, now I'm just tired. It helps them. It makes them win the battle. It turns the tide. They're like, oh, said, oh. Now you know whose empire is gone. But he too was given a trial. He too was given a trial. And no, he's not turning on his own city. That's being weird. No. It was a trial. He walked there by himself. They trusted him that he would conquer. They named the city Eon. And he was a respectful man. He respected his policies. So instead of trying to escape, even though he literally could have at any point, he was respectful all the way back down. On his own. He respectful man. Sorry, I'm just relaxing. I'm just trying to like think for a second. This tires you out, you know what I mean? Anyways, in the south, XDEXD, I was ready to march onto the Empire. And march to victory, like Demora said. They was like, "What's insane?" they said, and quickly move forward. But then they ran back. They thought they were cowards and pursued them. Like, ha ha ha! They can't even fight us in real. Wait, they're baiting us. Get back! But they didn't listen. And now there are very few troops left. And now they could push. Now they will push. Yeah, sorry I missed your message, Mr. Igor. Or Igor. I don't understand what you are saying, so. No! The teams will fall. The purple kill everyone. Baxdeity was killed in battle. And actually, they still could win this, honestly. This is still, like, very winnable. Let's no avail. The Rock was the leader. Wallace was the last defender. He was the only defender. He was the only one that could possibly save. But the attack stalled, for they had little troops left. They sent troops from the northern border, as it no longer needed as many reinforcements. Small garrisons everywhere, and this would be used to hoovar while Korore a benefit. As they sent a large army of this new cool technology discovered, the Stalker. Very what? Oh, very cool technology. He would amassed a huge army, no one never seen in all of the history. He paralyzed many men. Together, they charged outwards, and they decided to attack the capital as hard. Meanwhile, was being trialed, so Temverus could not realize XD was killed in battle, so he elected his next advisor. Oh, these guys engaged with those Marines. Rip, the last defenders. So, he was a good man. He came all on his own. Timur saw more use of him, elected him as his official. He would rule over his own city, his puppet state. Although most of the Air Force. But then they realized the northern border was being attacked. Like, wait, what? How's the northern border being attacked? They said in French. And then they had to send troops. Some troops from Ikorion were also sent. Orion, however, the gates were shut. Once they war. As the Yes, and troops such it. There was the first overwhelming. How did so many get here so fast? The stalkers were stronger than they thought they were. It was truly in this moment. It was the first time in history they had ever gone so close to the capital. Anyone. A huge army is about to destroy the city. The troops, most of the troops had to pull back. They're like, here. The troops were preparing to storm the city. They were getting ready to storm the city. Indeed. Some troops were prepared, but it wasn't enough. I had to think of something really quick. Then they decided to use the ultra strat. The troops were already dying. The troops couldn't get back into the city to defend against the oncoming tide. There was the Cavalians. And now it was a standstill. Who could they do? The first people to ever step so close to the few was sent with his army. They performed an aerial maneuver against the direct command of Septemberus. He bled everyone out. He was like, oh. And like, wait, how did he do that? He didn't even have direct control of the army. But the brute force strategy worked, combining, attacking on all directions at once. The troops were forced to fall back, but many of them did not even make it back. They're encircled, they're trapped, and they're forced to join, and they're enslaved by the Jeffersonians. They're all sentenced to death. Actually, no, except for one. His name. Stop! No. His name was and was served to 0.1 seconds in prison. But feeling bad, asked Septemberus for a pardon on him. And he agreed. Was pardoned from 0.1 seconds in prison. After being pardoned, he would join and improve his mental capacity of his great knowledge of the North. It found great interest in him, and after many years, of about 4 days, he was promoted to be the right-hand man, as was the left-hand man. Now he's the right-hand man. There are now 3 people who ruled besides Temperus. Now his army was bigger than ever, the territory vaster than they could ever imagine. They controlled nearly 30% of the entire world. Because you can't go around here, it's kind of like, it's too hard. There's time to shine. Their armies were prepared to finally storm on the rock and destroy it once and for all. The Reaver technology was too crazy for them. They could not figure out how to produce it on their own. But capturing the city would prove that they could, in fact, do so. The Huluians were on their own. Could not spare any more troops. Internal struggles with the Zerg became more intense. AK, he just said that, and then it conveniently happened right afterwards. He's like, oh, okay, good, I have justification, so I can actually make an excuse, but not to join these weirdos, even though technically it wasn't in his best interest to. But there's a massive Reaver army. They mastered the craft. And a huge battle was about to take place. Flawless as the leader. The battle commenced. 2 days later. Very long time. The frontal assault barely scratched them. The entire army destroyed in a matter of seconds. The power of the show was real. The only problem, it took the rock many years to produce 4 days to produce them. And these were the only ones he had left. This was his last defense. The manpower is also running thin in Jehoian Empire. Timbers was dumbfounded at best. He was so confused, like, "What? How in the world did they manage to defeat us when they had the hugest army in the world and control vast empire spanning the lake and the lake and even the river? There were even larger armies constructed, further going upon the morals. Believed that they would run out of empire, but he said we control a third of the world. Why would we run out of empire? Then they sent another army straight towards the line of the Trahulians. No one else was killed, but his legacy would live on, as he was the one to really accept the struggle. The new strategy was developed to guard the shuttles by there directly. Again, another entire army was defeated with barely any casualties to show himself. Saints, Timbers. He was so confused. He was like, what? Again, how? We've killed so many of them. How can they be this strong? How are the struggles that strong? And so he built a third army. This time stronger than the last. The strongest army he had ever built. He thought the army he built a few days ago was strongest. And he thought the army before that was strongest. But he knew this time, this one would be the one to defeat them in battle. The Drahulians embraced the last they could do. And their zealot production. As there was no one left. Too many had died in this war. And they were running out. The rock fears end soon. But he would make sure, and his people would make sure, that he would be defended to the last second. That unless no one would stagger or fall, unless they were physically unable to continue, they would defend the rock. Doing drugs. Yeah, they said in Italian, as they charged towards the rock. The battle commenced. It was glorious. The immortals pelted it from behind. But again, the army was instantaneously destroyed. Zealots were falling left and right. But even the immortals had to fall back. The great immortals, we thought they were immortal. And we honestly thought they were immortal. But they weren't immortal. They were pushed back fast to pass. The strongest army yet was thwarted yet again. And the Timbers realized there was no one left. There was no one left to attack them. They barely missed scratch Drahulian army. They lost thousands, millions, about 100. So, but they came with the idea. It's Timbers. Then put and took off of the main duty and allowed to assess it. Because he had a different idea. An idea no man had ever done before. He seen many things on his journey when serving Huara. He had seen the Coriosians. He had seen the Uians. And he knew the best technology that they could possibly make to beat them. He called them the Field Raiders. Specially trained, they could not be seen. The greatest weapon to ever be possessed. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I couldn't do the math to figure that. The Field Warriors. They would stealthily complete the mission. Also note that the treaty between the trade empire and the rocket Tsar, as simply didn't believe that he needed to defend his trade anymore as closely. He thought he had enough of a hold on it where he could survive on his own without having to defend so far forward with like people, and he thought they're smelly anyway. Like, you know, you don't want to hang out with smelly people. Like, what? Who? It's like you have that one friend, you know what I'm talking about? Smelly. But then, post-battle. Their post-battle. The great army was assembled. But it was an army that could not be seen. And this guy's like, oh! And Ook returned from aboard, saying there's nothing happening. He said, don't worry, we have something great happening. He said, it executed them on the spot for failing him. Even though Ook kind of failed him and he didn't. But shh. The field warriors were set to cloak in and assess the situation themselves. They went in. They could not be seen. The rock was ready to face whatever threat with brute force. But they didn't know what was happening. Like, oh, what? The rock could be assassinated by things you cannot see. You cannot see them. They all fell. Infiltrated every single shuttle. And the villagers surrounding the rock were filled. The rock was now fearful. He was scared. He was alone, afraid, scared. But he did. What? He's like, oh! Using his ultra cool vision. You can't believe it. They're like, yes, you can believe it. And they killed him. The rock was dead. Jahululu. Sweet peace treaty with the local mayor was given to Jahululians. Jacorzians. It was renamed Jahoian. Johomius. Yawn. Now the Motor World. Timbers was pleased with his efforts. It was pleased with Oo's efforts. Together, with Oo's strategy and his innovation, they would together be able to overcome the many threats that came of them. One problem is they were out of men. They controlled so much territory. It squeezed all the manpower out of it just to conquer that territory. They afraid invaders could attack them at any moment. Attack them at any moment. You see, this was barely defended. There was just a very small skeleton force of people that we did not, of anti-Jehovahans, pretty much.
It shall be as you say. Very wise.
Meanwhile, the aliens were getting ready to do more interdiction on the trade. They're like, they said in Portuguese, there's time to stop this trade once and for all. And so again, they were top down. They're coordinated. They attacked all at once. The cave dwellers. Eve was completely unexpected. He was so rich, he became fat. He became really fat. He's like, oh, what's happening? Oh, wait, what? Oh, we have to get out of here, guys. They're gonna kill us. Guys, they're gonna destroy everything. We knew all of our money. All of our money. All of our money. They're gonna destroy all of the money. We have to stop. We have to stop them from getting all of the money. They cannot get all the money. It is my money, not theirs. No. 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 Actually, they might win. But they sent more. They're invading all of them. They're stealing all of the money. They're gonna get so much money that they become rich. The aliens become rich. No. 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 They're attacking everything. Everything we've ever known. My entire life. They attacked the green stuff. They attacked the green paper. No, what are they doing? They're attacking more cities. Destroying everything. Destroying the salt, the coin goods, the gold. The gold. No. No! No! To run again. They're faster than me. They're gonna catch up with me. They're gonna destroy everything I know. No! They're destroying everything. I can't believe it. No, the trade throughout the years. They're destroying all of it. They're destroying all of it. No! No! Please, I paid you for a reason. No! No! I'm retreating to Ukor. No! Guys, you need to defend. They can't believe it. They're taking the cities. They're taking everything. I pay you guys more to be the best warriors you can be. If they were the best warriors they can be, they got 1 more health. Oh yeah! Actually, those kind of make a significant difference. They can take 1 more hit now. There's one other skin. Maybe it'll take 2 more hits. No! Ah, I need help! They're gonna attack us. But did not listen. For he was rich enough in his one singular city. He did not need the capital city more, as it was his own capital city. They're gonna break through! They're gonna break through! And as he said that, he became fatter. No! No! They're breaking through the city. There's only 2 of us left. Follow me! There's only 2 of us left. No. He ate 4 more donuts and became even fatter. No. I can't believe it. They've done this to us. They've destroyed everything. From the trade. And I guess you could say emotion, but that's not really as important. And like our entire nationality. But the trade! And all the people, I guess you could say too, but no. The trade! No, the economy! Fools, the economy! They've destroyed all of it. And now they're coming to finish us off. I hate my final words. I am traveling to the distant lands of Kalimdor. Farewell. And Okura was destroyed that very day. Taking a while. Ah, here it is. He had grown accustomed to his city of Phillies. He had grown accustomed to the city of Phillies. And was now ready to defend it to the last. He knew he was better than Yi. He was significantly better, in fact. Because he had stuff here he didn't. More money. He had more money. And using that money, he was able to buy cooler stuff. No one could defeat him. Right? He had cooler money. He could buy more cool stuff. He could buy more cool stuff. He could live a life of luxury. His troops, he paid troops, they're paid anyway, so there's not like he's leaving for dead. They're paid. They get money for this. They get money, they're happy. He could just live a life of luxury. Well, they defended it for him. He was like a brother to him. While they may have disliked each other in the past, he knew that this loss of him meant the end of him as well. There's nothing he could do. As Moore invaded, he knew his time's come. He knew his days of trading were over. He basked in glory and spent all of his money on Dr. Pepper bottles and gummy bears. His last days. He was so happy. But and somehow drinking the Dr. Pepper and gummy bears made him skinnier. We actually don't know how that happened. I guess that proves that Dr. Pepper is actually a good way to make you exercise. Because it's accurate assessment. It's accurate, trustable, reliable source. But he knew his days were up. As the Zerg advanced on him. No. All the trade he'd ever known in his entire life was flashing before his eyes. No one could save him. He was left alone to the fates of the Zerg. Actually, I think they're gonna win. Yeah, actually, I think they're gonna win. Never mind. He's good. No, okay, no. Oh, this took a large hit. But staying alive only made it worse. As now he knew that he would die at a later date. He knew his time was over. That they would keep attacking relentlessly because of his actions in the past. There was nothing he could do now except cower, fear. That's all he knew. The Zerg advanced in both directions. And he knew. Oh, he died at some point. Oh, he actually did die. The last of his troops were defending. There was 2-0 for right. He died in a blaze of glory. Phillies fell. Last of the trading empire. Never attacked by any kingdom. Fell to simple wildlife. That's what they passed. That's what the Torsorians passed it as. The Torsorians passed it as. Simple wildlife. Meanwhile, Huavankore was ready to act. He was tired. He was tired of waiting in this barren nation of barely anyone in here. He decided it's time for progress. Oh yeah, this guy's still alive. I forgot about him. It was time for progress. He arranged the remainder of his troops. It was no longer as militaristic. After the fall of his grand army, he was left with just but a tribe of people over a vast kingdom. Many people practically acted as independent nations. He brought everyone forth and told to them, "My troops, I sense a disturbance in the balance of power. One empire of the east rises. One empire of the west falls to darkness. With this imbalance, we cannot allow this to happen. We must ready our blades and travel across the world, bringing peace and prosperity to it. And so we can conquer it later," he said in Chinese. His troops, a few of them left, were exclaimed in happiness. They celebrated. They loved this idea. They wanted to save the world, and he wanted to save them too, and then conquered them. He called this force. He said that he was no longer such a high figure, but another soldier among them. They became known as the elite force. They repainted. They saw the Confederation of Careers was seen as but a trade. It was seen as but a document. It was seen as but a document. They believed that they were something new under this thing. The elite force was established, and they traveled. Sure. They traveled. But as they went out, they met someone on top of a hill. Warriors! Who are Recorder? Now leader of the task force went up to them. "What are you doing here, traveler?" "I am no traveler. I was part of a fallen kingdom," he said in Portuguese. "I was part of a fallen kingdom of long ago. The Horsorians, the Bay Empire, has conquered all. But on my journeys, I've seen much more horrific acts. Entire kingdoms falling to the mighty Erg, not Zerg. That'd be lore. We can't have lore in this. So we have Starcraft 2 lore. There's always a rule against it. So we have to be named the Erg instead of the Zerg." "I see who are Recorder," said Russian. "Our force, we are ready to take on anything that comes for us. Repaint your armor. You will join us in the elite force and bring peace to the world." "Why, thank you," he said, and his wounds were healed as he joined the elite force. The elite force marched. And as they marched a distance, the Empire fell into anarchy. But they did not care. The only major power left were the Husarians. They saw victory. But they also saw defeat. Severus was impressed in his general's abilities, but not impressed with his troops. He believed that the troops were the ones to blame. Many of them had died. There was barely a defense left. Just sprawled militias throughout the kingdom. Anyone, anytime could. He believed that any organized effort to overthrow him could be done. And after hearing of the fall of the Merchant Kingdom, an empire that had not seen conflict in forever, he was scared. And when you're scared, he thought. He said, yeah, he thought that they could be attacked at any moment. He fell into a state of. He fell into a state of paranoia. He did not trust anyone. His trust of his commanders even slipped away, even though he just liked him so much years ago. And Uruk has talk. They said to each other, he's no longer fit to rule. He's betrayed us all. We are supposed to be a amalgamation of 3 different types of people under their rule. But he is no longer fit. He's not orders to do anything. We've done everything for him. He's only sat at the top and took everything we liked. What do you say we put someone in charge that would appreciate us? And he looked to his son, Octoberus. He was very different from his father. He was excited. He saw every time he saw a war, he was excited. He even helped lead against the Acoriosian effort. If I remember right. He even helped lead. He even helped lead. He was coming of age to be king. His premiers would have to die first. They had just a way. They rallied our armies, told us that the king was fake, and that his son was the true Septemberus, and the true one fit the rule, as he had a vision from the great Protos himself, or Otos himself. They believed him. They defected. They marched in. What would have been a meeting. Septemberus welcomed them. Said he was always great to be in their presence. But he said they weren't great to be in his. He was like, wait, what? He said Russian. Octoberus was now in power. He greatly he didn't know what happened. He saw his father die. They brought the bad news to him. He's dead. You know, I guess you're now king now. I guess you just have to be king. I know, and like your policies conveniently fit in our favor, but yes, you gotta be king. He said, okay. He said, okay. He was ready. A kingdom that could fall at any second. He was not as paranoid as his father was. He saw the world differently. He knew that people would not attack him. They were too scared of many of the conquests. He's seen the horror in the people's faces as they marched upon their lands firsthand. He knew the best way would be to focus economically instead of politically, to secure what they already had instead of to gain more. They already controlled a third of the world. Why did they need more when other kingdoms were fine with just 1% of it? He reasoned. A great empire could be just as great as a smaller one, even greater. Even greater. Ooh, plan worked perfectly. And even though I forgot the original motives, they, because I'm tired, they assured control of Templars through their support, or lead a more peaceful policy against the rest of the world, and not be as paranoid. And he was. Meanwhile, the elite force marched the caves. The furthest the Otos have ever gone in the years. Any organized force, the great force, charged all the way up. There was no one there. The Urg were not as strong as they realized. There had been massive carnage, death. They were cut thin. And 5 queens were here. And they're like, oh! They're like, what have you done? He realized he spoke. What have you done? We have sent warriors to conquer the world. And he's failed. You will die here. You would die here now. Do you really think we would just die? You see, we have the OnlyFans force. And the force that had to donate at least $5 to them arose. The elite force was under trouble. They were an overwhelming force accompanied them from all directions. And ready to close in. They had underestimated the power. The elite force would surely fall. But Huvar, his excellence, conducted a strategy. A secret weapon he proposed. They decided. A very secret weapon they had, indeed. Wait, come back here! What? Get him! And then they ran away. He knew the greatest weapon in any war was to not even fight in the first place. They could not find him. They had lost him. There's no point in fighting a losing battle. About surely lose. They would call him a coward. But that only made him feel better. Because he was always a coward. And he was glad people were finally realizing it. Because, you know, like, people were always saying he was brave when he wasn't. And they were kind of mocking him for it all the time. Because they keep expecting him to be brave. And now he's finally getting represented as being a coward. So he's happy about it, you know what I mean? You know, people are people. They can be cowards. The elite force escaped. To what avail? They had accomplished nothing. They had not brought peace. In fact, they may have brought only more war. They decided to travel. They decided to travel. Jehoiasion. And hang out inside the next player. But there was a very small force. It had been expanded under Octoberus' rule ever since last time. But then they were attacked. Oh, the Urga chased them all the way here. Get him. And maybe we will be appreciated by the queens. Ah! They said in French. Wait, oh, they're still here! I completely forgot about them. Yes. Whoa. What was that? The great force. Why'd you do that? I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would have resisted. I couldn't resist. The great force saw unmatched power.
Receiving headquarters.
Greetings. I see you are interested in our ways. We can shoot lasers from our blades. Huvar is intrigued. All he ever seen is basic lasers. These guys are able to shoot lasers hundreds of miles from their bare hands. And that dagger. And the weapon. He was intrigued. He wanted to know if they could help him destroy the Urg. They agreed. The Urg have been threatening for too long, and the new king, Octoberus, would be appreciated if no more thing was taken off. And they went. The elite force followed them, but then they were too scared, so they stopped following them. Then the queens needed a bigger force. They evolved, spawning many different types of troops. The cloaking devices did not work in the caves, as it required sunlight to work. And the queens realized they were under threat. They would need to defend, for it was too late. They hypercharged the lasers, knowing this could be the last battle. And they charged forward. Oh, that's not even close. Few died, but the battle was won. It charged forward and destroyed the last remnants of the Urg. But the decay started collapsing. They had rigged a trap. They're like, oh! And they killed that guy. And then they all died as they killed that guy. Except for this guy, who crawled out and made it. Guys, let me in! Let me in, guys! Please, please, please! Guys! Guys! Whoa! Thank you for saving me! Who are you? We have not seen anything since 1984. What? We have not seen anything since 1984. You hear me? You heard me. Oh, okay. Me in. Yes. You heard me. Oh. Yeah, you can't really get in. We're kind of stuck here. What? 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 He said. They got blocked. They can't get out. What? What? Oh. And then he died. Then they seen Pross the first time since 1984. They were intrigued by a strange people they called the Otas. They need to investigate. The small force, in fact, went out. So they couldn't. And they remembered their lock in here. And they were very sad. And then they died. They heard the solid claims collapse. But Huvar was impressed at the skill. But he saw another come out. They had been defeated. Huvar. Didn't know what to do now. The elite force was made to bring peace on the lands. And while it did, they didn't directly do it. I suppose his actions ended up leading to peace. And he was impressed. And then said, okay, we saved the world, even though we only went to half it. And then he retired into a bar. And just sat there. And Wyatt was like, what? You can just do that? You can just do that? He said, yes, I can. I'm doing it right now. XD, 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 he said in French 7 times after that. And Wyatt realized there was no way they can get Huvar back. Because he's completed his goal. He had gone completely insane. Wyatt, originally just a member, now had complete control over a group. He had never had this before. He had always split power of someone, or was not power at all. It was new for him. He would now travel to the capital and showcase his force. And showcase the elite force in front of Octoberus himself. That was his goal. They went for the first border sign. But the second border, no one liked that. They're like, what? You can't just go in here? No, stop. 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 You can't just go in here. You can't just go in here. You think to go in here? Just the king is in there. You know you can do the king, you can kill him. You don't want to kill the king. King's it's really bad. Like, no one in history has ever killed the king. But you could kill the king. That's the problem. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mr. Wyatt. You know, you were just out of prison. Do you want to be in prison again? You could be in prison for another 0.1 seconds. Maybe even 0.2 seconds like the other guy. Actually, maybe you were in 0.3 seconds! Oh, 0.3 seconds. You don't like that. You don't like that, don't you? It's 0.3 seconds. 0.3 seconds. 0.3 seconds. 0.3 seconds. He said I'll take it. He said he would gladly take the price. Whatever the Emperor willed, he said. Oh, maybe the Emperor doesn't... What? Oh, I did that. Yeah, let me go get him. Yeah. Octoberus was happy. Was busy just hanging out. Like, you were drinking cups of tea and coffee at the same time. When you walked in. Yo, Octoberus! He's like, what? There's some people in the elite force. They want to see you. It's like, oh, Lemon. They're cool. Yeah, I said they might kill you, though. No, I don't think they'll kill me. We'll be fine. No one's ever killed anyone in the kingdom. Just casually, they just say, we still don't know what happened in September. September just went missing, right? And like, we think he died, but, like, we never know. Oh, I am Aquarius of the elite force. I see you have a really good lineup here. It looks very, very unique. I see you've done the violet engravings, even though it looks more purple than we do, actually, which is kind of ironic. But shh, instant smash. So, what do you come here, the capital of the sprawling empire? Or a sprawling empire? I just wanted to show you how cool our force was and everything. You know what I mean? I see. It's a pretty cool force. Yeah, pretty cool. What is your? Why are you here? Oh yes, guys, what do you think? Yeah, we're pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. See, we're pretty cool, right? I guess. You joined the military, though. You didn't have to come to me. Yeah, but we're cool force. We want your lands, bring you peace. Okay, you can do that then. Cool. You're allowed to do that? Yeah, you could. I mean, no one even really guards big fields in land in between our major cities. Do what you want. Just don't break the law. Yeah. Alright guys, let's go. Now, under the newfound wisdom. They went out. They're like, hey, you can just go out. What? You can let us out. Just can't let us in. Wait, what? You can? Oh yeah, sorry. And they went out. And they traveled lands to bring peace and justice to all. Kuvar. He didn't know what to do. He was sad. The elite force did not work the way he wanted it to. He wanted to save the world. He didn't want to save the world, not watch it be saved. He wanted to be the hero. But he was only the witness. He didn't know what to do. And he didn't really know what to do well, because Wyatt went to the next city. Oh, you come to raid us? What? There have been many raiders here recently. And there's kind of nothing left, so you can just kind of have the city if you want. Wait, what? Yeah, you guys can have the city. Wait, you can have the city? Yeah. Oh. Okay, so I guess we're no longer the elite force. Just, change your thing to green. It's still elite force actually. We're still elite force. We're just a bit different from the elite force. You know what I mean? It's a bit different, like different, like recoloring. You guys want to join too? I guess. Yeah. The elite force. Oh yeah. See, like. Yeah. Wow. Really that easy. And so like that, Akurio was reestablished as a kingdom. Yeah. And I'm not a single leader. I don't have to deal with attack move anymore. Cool. Yeah. Except none of them came from Emerald Kingdom. Most of the people that live there were now Dracorsians. He'd rule over it's the same territory, but it's no longer the original people. Completely different. He didn't know what to do. It's crazy. Like, we don't know what to do anymore. He just kind of sat there. He's like, oh, what do I do? I got power, but I have nothing to do with it. There's no other nations to attack. There's no nations to defend against. Then he remembered. What were the original ideals? Oh, I have an idea. Let's aimlessly wander the fields. Yeah! And so he wandered the fields. And he lived happily ever after. Huvar still couldn't find himself. He'd heard of Vicarius' reconquering of the kingdom. 4 seconds later. Very long. And only did he decide that he needed a fulfilling life. His life was full of conquest and glory and unification of his people. Now, it was just a life of sadness. He knew the best thing he could do would be to conquer everyone! He went to the beginning of the city and rallied all the army tried stopping him. But then the army was inspired too. Let's conquer everyone, yeah! He said in Portuguese. And the army said, yeah! In French. And the city was given to Teal. And it was renamed New Kilo. He made it shorter this time, because it was hard to pronounce before. A reformed kingdom indeed. He would now lead his people to glory. Even though they weren't really his people. There's a population boom in New Kilo over the years of Dracorsian control. And it's time he controlled it. He raised a large army and decided the next day that he would attack Dracorsians. He liked his army. It was nice, clean, and efficient. He made sure to incorporate all forms of combat. Except he couldn't because he was out of supply. So you can only have one immortal. But he had a huge army. An army ready to conquer. He would lead the army himself if he died this day. Which he won't. But he will. But he won't. But he will. But he won't. But he will. But he won't. But he will. What is this? But he won't. But he will. But he won't. But he will. But he won't. But he won't. Maybe. And he charged! Until was just like, wait, what? What do you mean he just rebelled out of nowhere? We need to stop him. And he did stop him, indeed. As the army went. Oh, they're friends. Oh! I knew you were bad! Activate auto-loading cannon! They've been outplayed! He said, oh. You thought I would just accept your rule. It was all a ploy. You gave me this power in the first place. What? Oh! No! I am more powerful than you could ever imagine. Let's destroy Dracorsian. It'll never come back up. Huvar was dumbfounded. The general he had seen in action for years slowly betrayed him. He never forgot his original people. He had only been undercover for tens of years. About 5 minutes. And now he was ready to serve his old people once again. Under the new regime, he was more powerful than you can ever imagine. He would not. He accepted. He even destroyed the gate. Oof! Ooh, went to distance. Kuvar now controlled it. He raided. But again, he did not done himself. They would have never won if it weren't for the great Ooh. He needed to fight himself again. And decided that the best way was to take it out on some other random nation for no reason. And that's why he decided to go over was going and attack him. Was heading back through his old kingdom. They had already defected. They wanted to be back with the Urians. They wanted to be the Ooze. Closed the gates once again, for they reunified his nation, but they're all Dracorsian. They're not like him. They're all weirdos. He don't know how he somehow made it too quickly. And again, they're all neutral. Control, unally, teal, green. Oh! What? Huvar, after he just unified again, Akir's was killed in combat. Huvar found himself again. He had murdered his own elite force, but he was not done yet. He destroyed the city of Victoria. Oh yeah, the city got kind of... Actually, no. There's one city left. He needed to destroy... an entire of the Dracorsian Empire would be utterly destroyed during the... Too bad. But he would not let his nation fall. Again, after he just made it, even though that's exactly what happened to the other one. He decided to do strategy. He would just disperse his forces and to bring them together when they attacked. That was the best way to defend this choke point. And then he put his forces together. This time he was much more powerful. He was an overwhelming force. So like they just kind of duplicated themselves. It was like insane. There's so many of them. Like what could they do? Like what could they do? There's too many of them. That's why could they beat them in time? He knew he would die eventually. He was only on 20 life. He'd use all of his life to beat everyone else. Could they truly win? Was there a victor in this war? Or would it all be down to Huvar? Huvar was wounded. The Great Army would continuously on its way in. They would push for every second. There was no stopping them. Every man lost. Every man lost did not matter. It did not matter. For there are hundreds more to replace them. And Huvar was temporarily captured. I mean, I can't remember. Didn't even realize they could just close the gate, and they didn't. They can just can't stop. Huvar was captured. Ooh. Oh, I defeat the large army. No. Gate was about to open. The last gate. The last gate. There's no stopping it. And Uvu was killed. Uvar was saved. Together, they pushed into the city of But then there's so many people that they all died of starvation by the time they got to the main front. Yeah, it was a pretty long front. They were there for a while. Like, it was actually a month this time. Like, it wasn't just like me faking it or anything. It was like actually a month. Uvar was really good at getting injured and not dying. I wonder why. It was down to the wire. The last troops fought to the end, but Uvar's troops barely prevailed. And the city was also destroyed. And actually, it kind of destroyed itself after it saw them coming. It was like, you know what? We're making this easier on you. Uvar had conquered everything. He didn't feel accomplished. He had not conquered enemies. He had not brought justice. He only brought destruction. And he caused it himself. He would never find himself, he thought. There'd always be an ever-ending quest as he traveled back to New Kilo. After many years of war, the land fell into anarchy. Many lords ruled the area. There was very little history written, as there was constant warfare, all down to one general. But it wasn't really one general. Or was it the combined efforts of many large kingdoms and states, all making huge strides for each step to destroy the land that they once had and turn it into a land of anarchy and anarcho-syndicalism. Who would have figured? Uvar traveled back to his home city, but it wasn't really his home city. It was but a fake home city. Home city he deemed it to be, not home city he was from. The old Kilo would never be seen again. It fell many years ago. The troops he led were not his blood. For his blood was turmoil, infinite war, destruction. He was last of his kind, left civilized, he deemed. But he accepted that. For he, even if he didn't like it, had made an influence in the world, and that was his quest. His quest to be important. He went to the bar. And GeForce was the last major New Kilo, be the last major city for the next 100 years. What about a specific individual who escaped? He was never killed. He escaped on his own business venture. Mr. E. What happened to him? He escaped? He could have escaped. I think he escaped. He escaped to distant lands of Kamador. You know, that's pretty good. It's pretty important. It's pretty important. He escaped to distant lands of Kamador, in fact. Because it's distant and not here. It could be very different. He could be entering a land where he conquers everything. to save this world from the anarchy it's in. Or maybe he'll accept the anarchy as a business venture to make more money. Or maybe he'll do nothing. Maybe he's already dead. Maybe. Just maybe. We never know. It's Uvar. Tired. His empire. The one he carved out. Would never see any place as he burned everything. The city eventually fell to barbarians. Uvar was still alive. He was old. He was very old. Hundreds of years old. About a year older than he was before. He saw there was nothing that he can do. So he finally accepted that he would not bring justice to the world. He would do what he did and what other people do. Combined effort resulted in what justice could do. He had betrayed his kind. He betrayed his kind's kind. He had betrayed himself. As he was his own worst enemy. Not before any title. He was a king. He wasn't part of the elite force. He was just Uvar. Uvar or Kuriori. Uvar. Think about this for the rest of his life. Eventually he too would fall. Very unfortunate. The world would continue on, as it always did. New factions would arise. New factions. New people to roam the fields. New people to stop them from ruining the fields. New people to roam the fields. More people to battle against. More people that would be killed. More people. More people. More empires that would be formed. Newer empires. Older empires. People fighting for the greatest causes. For themselves. For money. For glory. For justice. For their justice. For every type of justice. But in the end, it could all go back. Back to the past. Samurai Jack. Now, I don't know what actually went at the end there. I'm done. That's the end of this. I'm too tired. Work. If you like this, subscribe, join the Discord server. And about text to my channel currently, and you may be able to join the future stream or video or even both. It could be cool. That was the live stream. Farewell.